Let's go. Put your hands together.
Good afternoon, Harlem!
Extremists, dangerously inexperienced.
My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty.
I want you to think about the last time politics felt real to you. Not like a headline, not like a debate clip, but something that close to home. Rent, groceries, the quiet fear that how hard you work, life keeps getting expensive. That's why this race matters because what happened in New York City wasn't supposed to happen. I didn't start watching this race because I cared about New York City politics. After all, I'm an Indonesian. I watched because I recognized a pattern. An unknown candidate shows up, start talking plainly about money, about housing, dignity, and suddenly the alarm goes off. Billionaires panic, party panics. Whenever that happens, it's worth paying attention. Let's be honest. Affordability sounds boring until you are living it, yeah? Until every paycheck already feels spent before it even arrives, until rent goes up again and again, until healthcare becomes a calculation instead of a right. New York is the richest city in the richest country in the world, and yet millions of people there are just trying not to fall behind. So, when Mom Daddy said, freeze the rent, people didn't hear ideology, they heard relief, they heard hopes. That's what terrified the establishment. Here's the part that shouldn't be revolutionary, but somehow is. He asked people what they needed, not donors, not consultants, not party leadership. Actually, people on the street and what they say wasn't radical at all. It wasn't even partisan. They want they want life to stop getting harder and harder. That's it. And the moment a politician builds a campaign around the third, the system start to crack. What we spend money consume. Not small donors, not average fooders, but billionaires, hedge fund managers, real estate interests. They'll tell you it's about practicality, about economic realism, about protecting the city, but a 2% tax on millionaires isn't what scares them actually. What scares them is precedent. If New York provides, if New York prove that money doesn't decide election, what happened next? When policy attacks didn't work, fear took over. Suddenly, his religion matters, his language matters, his stance on Gaza mattered, but only in the most distorted, bad faith way possible. Let's be clear. This wasn't about Jewish safety or national security, right? It was about deciding who is allowed to speak loudly in American politics and who must constantly apologize for existing. Islamophobia isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. What surprised me most wasn't Republican opposition, it was the silence from Democrats. Delayed endorsement, lukewarm support, and careful disdains. Because this kind of win is inconvenient, it exposes something uncomfortable that people will vote for both material change when they are given the option. And the race and that raises an ugly question. Why hasn't that option been offered more often before? As the pressure mounted, Mamdani softened some position. That's politics, I get it, but also revealed the real power dynamic at play. The system doesn't just try to stop challengers. If it can't stop them, it reshapes them. The tension between integrity and survival is the quiet tragedy of modern politics. This election wasn't a miracle, it was a warning shot. It showed that people are done being told that nothing can change while everything gets more expensive. It showed that fear campaign doesn't always work. And most importantly, if it showed that politics still belongs, at least a little, to the people who show up. This isn't the end of the story. It's the part where those in power realize they are no longer invincible.
I invested $500,000 with Andrew Cuomo, and it was not a very successful investment.
Can't be solved by national governments alone.
Michael Bloomberg, a former mayor of New York, donated over $9 million to a group backing Andrew Cuomo.
I think it's fair to understand that the billionaires think they own the city, that this is their city. When Bloomberg was mayor, he made an infamous comment that he saw New York City as a luxury product. And that's what he built.
While billionaires in the U.S. increasingly use their wealth to influence politics, Mamdani's win pushes back on the idea that elections are for sale.
We live in New York, in capital's seat of power.